Crypto Abstract in the flesh himself, the crypto cowboy. He's here. We made it. How's everybody feeling? Folks, I've been trying to make this happen for a long time, and now we finally did it. It's your boy, and we gonna make this crypto bread. Folks, how is everybody feeling? Folks, all I gotta say is that the crypto market is slow. It's ugly right now, but that's just for the moment. And at the end of the day, all we gotta do is just keep focusing on what's going on. Look to the future, don't look to the past. Shit got critical. Yes, we know. We've been there. But, folks, all it takes is an idea and a little bit of energy, and we can make this money. Let's get it. So, look, first thing I wanted to touch on, I just wanted to go crazy on, is really just Bitcoin right now. And the reason why I want to go crazy on Bitcoin right now is that, like, bro, at the end of the day, it's the most important. You know, we got altcoins, we got meme coins, we got NFTs, we got this, that, and the third. But the reality is, Bitcoin is first. And without Bitcoin, everything else wouldn't be possible. So, like, right now, just with Bitcoin, like, I know, like, we went to the moon since November to, say, April, May, we went to the moon, the whole BlackRock ETF, we've been doing phenomenal, at the end of the day. But the reality is, we're correcting, and it's okay to correct. These kind of things is normal, right? And for the long term, we're going to be fine. I mean, Bitcoin, to me, you look at this chart, is quite evident to me. You feel me? I think that there's nothing that speaks louder than this chart, and I just think that what a lot of big money, institutional money is really waiting on, folks is really just waiting on, folks is waiting for this stuff to go to the moon, right? Retail investors wise, the big money, they already have their money in assuming, because, you have BlackRock with the ETFs, and, you have institutional money. You have Michael Saylor going crazy, buying an insane amount of Bitcoin. So, at the end of the day, I would assume the big money is in already. Now, I mean, there is bigger money per se. We can talk about an Apple, or an Apple putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. There's a lot of things we could think about, but the reality is that Bitcoin is going to go to the moon. And when it does go to the moon, I think that's when the retail is going to really flock in and really want to buy. So, like, right now, like, we got Bitcoin at 59K, but at the end of the day, just last year at the same exact time, it was at 26K. So, at 26K, I mean, it's pretty much obvious, but I mean, it wasn't obvious back then. So I'm not going to act like it was obvious that we should have been buying, whatever, because, when Bitcoin was down here at 16K, I mean, nobody wanted to buy it, right? And that's just, I guess, you can call just the emotional, the cycles of people, People, we see things go down and we don't want to buy, but, little technical things like a fib retracement, like this, anybody could have drew this up and could have obviously saw that. Maybe we were reaching about them, like, at the end of the day, like, maybe it was time to buy. I mean, obviously, the bigger money was buying this whole entire time, because clear as day, later we come to find out how much Bitcoin they really bought and how much Bitcoin they actually hold, right? So, things like this is tough when you see things at the bottom, but at the end of the day, too, it's like, we got to look to the future, because, like, right now, we got opportunities that we just haven't seen in, say, 3 or 4 months. And this is why I'm over here going crazy with the YouTube and all this, because at the end of the day, it's like, we haven't seen these prices in a while. Prices have been going crazy for a while. Memes are going crazy. And for the most part, from November, I mean, Bitcoin, from a year ago, right? It's already over a double up, right? But the reality is, too, like, a lot of these memes, they didn't really do those crazy numbers like we thought they were going to do. And I just think that, Bitcoin dominance went up as well. So that's that's one thing that I wanted to point out to some people that Bitcoin dominance. This is Coin Glass, by the way. So this is like a good website that I use for like just data analytics. I have another one for, let's say you want to do like DeFi statistics. So like we can put these back to back right here. Okay. And basically you can get a vibe for what's going on. Future tense. Hold on, just give me 2 seconds. All right. Bitcoin dominance. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, if you're holding altcoins right now, unfortunately, this is, like, this entire time, low-key, unless you just really believe in a project and you want to hold it for a while, it was never really time to be holding an altcoin in the past year. I mean, if you wanted to come up, to make more Bitcoin, okay, but the reality is when Bitcoin dominance is going up, if Bitcoin dominance is going up, the altcoins are not going to go up. And that's okay. But, it's like that whole saying, like, don't hate the player, hate the game. It's like, if Bitcoin, is going to the moon and Bitcoin dominance is mooning, then we should be staying into Bitcoin. Now, when Bitcoin dominance falls, that's when we should be flooding the altcoins. That's when we should be going ham. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Bitcoin dominance is going down, that means that it's literally losing dominance to the rest of the market. That means that the rest of the market is catching up. And this is why we see these sometimes in the cycle where like Bitcoin will go to the moon and the rest of the coins are dragging behind. And then as soon as Bitcoin starts to slow down, we start seeing a lot of people flooding and a lot of people come in trying to make money, in these altcoins. Because ultimately, we know, right? The people with the big chicken, they're just looking for a way to make more Ethereum or make more Bitcoin. So, because at the end of the day, this is what they, mainly hold, right? So, if somebody, sees a play where they can be like, yo, I could put this up and I could make, 2 or 3 times my Bitcoin or ETH, that is a good play for a lot of people, and that's why people will pour in money. But when we're just initially getting into a bull run right now, and we haven't fully got into like a crazy cycle where we're going to the moon, we're just not gonna see these big players jumping into these altcoins trying to make crazy money, because it just doesn't make sense right now, because it's just actually not the time to try to make money, because right now is the time just to be safe, right, and just to hold and just to see what's gonna happen. Because the reality is, we're literally, we just entered a bull market, right? I mean, the bull market technically just started. When we look at April, the bull market technically started, and it makes sense, like, the whole market trying to front run. Like, when you look over here, even with the Bitcoin dominance last year at this time, like, Bitcoin, Bitcoin lost a lot of dominance, right? Like, hold on, there we go. So like around this time last year, Bitcoin lost dominance because, we were in a bear market, but at the end of the day, people front-runned the entire market, literally front-runned the entire market, and literally that's why you see where the market where the dominance is today, because people front-runned it to the halving. And that's what I've been saying in the past over and over and over. It's like, bro, like, sit back, step back for a second, and just realize that Bitcoin dominance, people will front run this whole entire market. You will be like, oh, I'm gonna buy when the halving comes. Oh, I'm gonna wait until April. When the halving comes, I'm gonna buy then. No, like, people front run it 6 months in advance. So the thing is, even right now, when you think of something right now, it's like we're literally in a moment right now where people are trying to front run what's gonna happen in the bull run. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are trying to front run what's gonna happen in the future, because if historically speaking, right, just historically speaking, top of the bull run happens a year and a half after halving. if the halving just happened in April, and people are over here getting so like, people are getting so like impatient, like, oh, bro, like, oh, the money. You know how these people, y'all know damn well how these people be, how these folks be. You know damn well they're always impatient, and I can get like that too. But the reality is too is like, like, you gotta be patient. You gotta be patient, and the cycle is, we should start seeing a pump coming soon, because, and I'm not just saying that just to say that, right? Like, I'm saying that literally because of simple things, right? Like election season. People are completely forgetting about election season. Election season, we got, I mean, it's controversial this year, but the reality is that whoever wins, it's just, I feel like it's a really good time for crypto, because crypto's actually one of the the talking points in this election, whereas it had never actually been a talking point before. So it's just really interesting to see an election where people are actually talking about crypto, because it's actually an important topic this time going around. And that's even something to prove, even with the mainstream adoption of crypto. I mean, if two presidential people are talking about crypto, then this is all the more better for Bitcoin, right? So we're in like a perfect time for Bitcoin, and this is why, like, I always like emphasize, like, right now, don't worry about bullshit. Don't worry about a meme coin, dog with cat, dog with bag, treasure poop, poop island. I don't like. There's like a gazillion shitters out there. Okay, I know you can make $1,000,000x tomorrow. You could hit 500x today, but you could also negative 500% your whole portfolio. Your portfolio can't even go negative 500%. But in this particular case, you'll be so down on crypto, you be owing Bitcoin money and stuff. That's how critical shit can get. But like, at the end of the day, we're in a good little time in the cycle right now where we're so early, and like I said, we hadn't seen a dump like this in a while. And that, I feel like, really just helped us out so much. And I know that some people are like, oh, why is, a dump, like, we should be going to the moon. But the reality is, like, this is good times to pick up good prices. And that's just making free money, because, when these prices really dump, it's free money. Like, Bitcoin over here dumping, touching an average. It's like, this is not coincidental. This is literally people knowing where the average is at, putting in a bunch of orders and limit orders to make sure to buy this up, because this is an obvious buying point. Okay, we are literally 3 months after having, 3 or 4 months after having. Shit's not a joke. So me personally, I would already assume that at some point we could be seeing really, really big leg ups soon. And it's just the narrative, the whole market in general. Look at the economy. We've been fucked up for mad long, but now we actually have the government working towards, the Fed, right, working towards cutting interest rates, making interest rates cheaper, and which is ultimately going to bring more money into the economy, which will ultimately bring more money into crypto, right? We've been, as the economy, right, we've been low-key suffering for a little bit, just because mainly of the interest rates, I feel like. And let me see over here. Let me get the live chat over here for you guys. Hold on. Hold up. Let's see the live chat over here. Hold up. First time over here. We had a little bit we had some technical difficulties, but the vibes. It's always a vibe. You feel me? Okay. So yeah, so basically, all in all, it's like we're at a good time in the market, and you gotta have a little bit of faith at the end of the day. Like, there's nothing I'm gonna tell you that you don't already know in terms of where I stand in the market. it's just like at the end of the day, it's like we went through 2 years, 3 years of the bullshit. It's like I just think at the end of the day, now is the time to sacrifice for that last bit that we got right now. Sacrifice so that you can reap the rewards. Because at the end of the day, the cycles, we already know the cycles only come 3 or 4 years. So if the cycles are only coming 3 or 4 years, and you're not taking advantage of the time that we have right now, because it's very short. Like when I got into crypto in 2019, late 2019, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just literally trying to learn how to invest, trying to figure out a way to make money, right? And the reality is, yeah, I bought at a one could argue that I was lucky, right? One could argue that I was lucky because I literally bought at a time where crypto, like that first initial pump, before, you know what I'm saying, all the crazy shit that happened, before all that, you know what I'm saying? And to watch where crypto became today is like, this is what I'm trying to get at. It's like, you're not late. All you gotta do is just literally do the homework yourself. Look at it yourself so you can believe what I'm saying. Because it's different when, it's different when, you go and take the research and take the time to do the research, rather than me telling you, right? So, but all in all though, like, I get a lot of people asking me recently, everyone in the live chat, if you got any questions, like if you got any coins you wanna look at, or any questions, just let me know. And shout out Sky Tank Labs, shout out Lay's Cartel. Lay's gonna have a pop up in New York coming soon. Everyone pop out there, you heard? But yeah, man, it's I just think like this, like now if we had to talk about alts, I mean, I'm not really a big fan of the altcoins right now, but if we had to talk about the alts, I mean, we have a Dogecoin at 35 cents. I mean, we know that I'm a big believer in Dogecoin, and people call me crazy for wanting Dogecoin. I mean, this, when we think of like a dog coin, right? it's stressful for me to tell people to buy, especially like older people, if I had to tell them to buy a yellow dog and the coin does nothing, It's tough. I get it. But on the flip side, it's like, you gotta think how the masses think, right? But I'm not saying be like the masses, but like, think how they would think, right? Think like, okay, if I buy this dog now, right? We seen the hype that it did in the last cycle, right? Check it. We seen the hype that Dogecoin did in the last cycle. We had Elon, couldn't stop posting it. It went to the moon, and that's why, okay, we seen those go from under a penny. See, this chart not even showing it. This shit came from under a penny all the way damn near. I'm over here looking at ADA. I'm frying. Hold up, cooking. Hold on. All right, there we go. Okay, so we seen it come from all the way from under a penny, all the way damn near to 73 cents. Now, okay, I get it. For right now, looking at it at 10 cents, it don't look like it's going to do anything that it did before. I get it. But also, look how far Doge came. Look at the supporters it has. There's a lot of speculation also that Elon and Tesla could be accepting Doge for cars. I mean, possible. I mean, you never know. You feel me? If he starts accepting Doge for cars, I mean, that would be insane. I mean, I would obviously jump up the price. I mean, people have asked them in like interviews or like live events, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, maybe we should do that." I mean, if he's gonna do that, I don't know, but I guess there's room for speculation if he were to, because people don't know this too. Like, you go to Tesla's website, they have a whole frequently asked. You already know they literally have a whole frequently asked for Doge. Okay? This is listen. This is Tesla's website right here. Okay, you can literally take a look for yourself. Where can I buy? What can I buy from Tesla with Doge? How can I buy something from Tesla with Doge? Like, I'm just saying they already built out the infrastructure, low key. So now it's just really up to the higher ups to decide just to be like, oh, you know, we're gonna accept Doge, right? And I'm assuming too, you know, just assuming, right? I'm assuming that unfortunately there's a bunch of regulations and whatnot, and you know how that go. Shout out Jason Lockhart, Fluffy Gang. Shout out Hyro. Listen, man, Fluffy, I love Fluffy Gang. Let's see where it goes. Actually, let's take a look at Fluffy right quick. Why not? So for people that don't know, Fluffy is a group of my friends that started this. I'm not in it personally right now, but I mean, it's a 539,000 market cap, so I'm not saying to buy this. This is super risky, but I mean, hey, to each his own. If you have the guts and the balls to do it, then why not? Why not? Yeah, man, freaking, there's so many. That's the funny thing right now about all these like shit coins and all these like meme coins. It's like there's so many of them. And every day in my Instagram, my DMs, there's always someone asking me, like, you know, should I buy this coin? Should I buy Harry Potter Obama? Should I buy Mog? Should I buy this, Billy, this? And it's like, I've come to realize that it's like, we're not in a bull run. Well, technically we're in a bull run, right? But we're just really early in the phase. It's like, it's so hard to tell right now what's really going to go to the moon because it's just so early. Now, there's things where you can be like dog with hat. Like, for the most part, we all know. I mean, we're raging in a bull run. Dog with hat's going to go crazy. There's certain coins like a Pepe. We know that we're in a bull run. Pepe's going to be going crazy, right? But all I'm trying to get at is just waiting for the perfect time so that you can jump in these coins instead of jumping in them right now. I think that right now, for the most part, like if I had to like just say right now, just for y'all, just to, you know, have a little direction, I would personally say just to focus on the main stuff, right? Like, just try to focus on stuff that ain't too crazy, you know, like, let's see over here. Ant Noon said, H-Bar and Jasmine are my strongest considerations for his bull run. I really, really, really like Jasmine, by the way. I really like Jasmine. Literally, when Jasmine was initially, like before it actually, let me pull up the chart right quick just so y'all can see what's up. Okay. So this pump, obviously, it doesn't look crazy compared to the, I love that you brought up Jasmine, man. I know that, okay, so obviously it took 99% down from the bear market, yada yada, right? But this initial pump right here, this was a very big pump for anybody who bought into Jasmine. This was a very, very, very good buy. Now the funny thing was that me personally wanting to buy Jasmine, I wasn't even thinking fundamentally. I was just in my head, I'm just like, it's one of the only coins on Coinbase that are under a penny. See, look, this is the way I'm thinking in my narrative. I'm thinking, hey, Jasmine, one of the only coins on Coinbase under a penny. Not a crazy ass market cap yet. Like literally under a penny. Like right now, you would still be at a 4x right now if you had bought these numbers. Now, if you bought it lower, you would have been making even crazy more money. But I personally think that Jasmine, even if it doesn't reach all-time high, right, it still has an opportunity to try to at least, let's say, like, just give you an example. Because I mean, folks, you got. Like, let me just pull it up right quick on CoinGecko right quick. But, like, one thing, like, I just want to get, like, people to understand as well is that, like, at the end of the day, folks, like, this is what I was trying to explain earlier to some people, too, was, like, a coin could have a low supply, right? A coin could have a low supply. And that's why it's on the moon, right? But later, it has a way higher supply because of inflation through all the years of its minting schedule and all this, right? Now that's why it's so cheap, because they're inflated their supply away. Now I'm going to give you a good example. This is one of my favorite coins. I always talk about this coin, obviously. of the graph, but I've definitely looked at this coin numerous times over to understand the coin and understand why the price went so low that it did, right? And the reality is, like you see right here, like circulating supply 9.5 billion, right? Hold on. Okay. All right. So 9.5 billion supply right now, right? 10 circulating supply, 10.7 billion total. Okay? This is why I'm buying this coin now, because there's not that much left to inflate. There's not that much left to mint. Whereas before, when GRT went all the way to, I mean, you know, every market, every exchange says a different price, but I remember at one point it being like 280 on Coinbase around there, right? In that bull run, right? And it had just started, and that coin went that high. And in regards to market cap, it touched 6 billion. You see what I'm saying? So it touched 6 billion. But the things y'all gotta understand is that it touched 6 billion, but there was only 1 billion supply. And now we've inflated 9.5 times that. Okay, so like that's what I want. That's what I want people to understand. That we inflated literally 9 times that. You feel me? So like that's why the price went all the way down to 5 cents. That's literally why. That's why. Because the supply got inflated. So now I'm buying now because I already know that, hey, there's not that much left to inflate. This is a good time for me to buy, stake it, get 10% a year. And when this shit goes to $1, $2, you're up. You feel me? Because all this shit is still early. And if we're right, because we could be wrong, and I'm fine with being wrong. You live once, whatever. Try things, see if it works out. But I'm just saying, like, this is a good time to buy low, stake it, hold it, and make all that money in the rise up. Okay? These are coins that I like because they actually do something and their tokenomics make sense now. Okay? Before they didn't. Before I was making money on them, but they just didn't make sense. So someone said, did you go over Sol yet? Huge potential. I'll go over it right now, man. I mean, Sol, man, I mean, you know, Solana, obviously, we were obviously going to talk about Solana because it's just like, you know, I would say, let's just call it the underdog of the bear market, I would say. And it literally came out to be top dog, surprisingly. So, you know, the interesting thing is with Solana, man, I mean, there's so much to say about Solana. I mean, it's like, it's such a good coin, such a good ecosystem, such a good project. I mean, some people can argue and say that Solana is better than ETH, and a part of me too wouldn't say no, right? You know, there's certain aspects of Sol and ETH, right? Like ETH is more, I guess you would say, leaning more decentralized, even though there's controversy around that too. But Sol obviously is way more centralized, right? We all know that Solana is centralized. I mean, there's major outages on the network sometimes. I mean, it's part of the game, right? I mean, you know, there's trade-offs for things. But the thing is I do like about Solana, and why Solana has so much potential, to be honest, is because, let's just throw up Solana over here. Let's take a look at something right quick for y'all. Okay, $67 billion market cap, okay? Okay, so $67 billion market cap, and we got ETH at $304 billion market cap. So, we can call it about a 4x. About a 4x for, 4 or 5x for Sol to reach where ETH is at, right? In terms of market cap, right? Because market cap is most important, price doesn't mean anything, right? And the reality is that, like, you see, people would call me crazy, but like, BNB being in front of Sol, that shouldn't be there. Sol should be way ahead of BNB. That's off rip. Now, ETH, you know, the crazy part is Solana's already caught up to ETH considerably. Considerably caught up to ETH. Whereas ETH, you know, like ETH used to be so ahead of Solana, right? And you think about these little things about Solana, like the gas fees. Like, I know, like, when you're making thousands of dollars, you're not going to care about a $50 gas fee on ETH. But you got to think, you know, to bring in the masses, we're going to need something like a Sol, right? Where fees are literally a joke, right? Where they're a penny, under a penny. Transactions are super fast. There's major amount of developers. It's easy to develop on Solana. These are all things why Solana is excelling the way it is. It wouldn't be where it's at, you know, if it wasn't for all these little things. So I just think that the team behind Solana, they're geniuses, and I just think that they are pushing forward very fast and taking the market by storm. 100%. They are definitely taking the market by storm. And I think that I think Solana's a great buy. I personally would definitely buy Solana and hold, and maybe even possibly stake it. I just think that it's that whole thing that I said earlier, you know, just a lot of people are lacking patience right now, and a lot of people are just really, just fed up with what's been going on. But the reality is, too, is like, this is the time to be buying, this is not the time to be playing around, and you can go to any influencer, any YouTuber, any whatever, they're all going to tell you the same thing. Because everyone knows what's about to happen. And what's about to happen is massive, massive legs up. And that's why I'm positioning myself right now. And I'm not fucking around right now. I'm definitely positioning myself right now so that I can definitely make max returns in a bull market. Because like I keep saying, I'm not trying to miss what's about to happen. That only happens every 3 or 4 years. And by the way, if you want to show some love, please like, please subscribe to the page. We're going to do this all the time. We're going to keep trying to get this money. And let's keep spreading this knowledge, man, for real. Jason Lockhart over here. 1K Sol peak market. You know what's funny? The funny thing is, 1,000 might actually be modest. And the reason why I say that is because, like, we went to the moon last bull market, but this is like, I think that this is going to be the bull run where ETH is normally over $1 trillion regularly. You see what I'm saying? Like, if Bitcoin, I mean, obviously Bitcoin we know is going to be over, you know, $1 trillion, etc. But I'm saying for something like an ETH, right? Because Bitcoin's over $1 trillion, but like something like ETH to be over $1 trillion, that would put it, you know, that would be that Bitcoin, I mean, that ETH that we've always been looking for, that ETH at over $10,000 that everyone talks about. But to be at that level, we have to be also over $1 trillion, right? So I could see something like a ETH being over $1 trillion with a Solana at least half of what that market cap is. So if ETH could be at 1.2 billion, hey, at least Solana could be at 600 billion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to get at? Like ETH 1.2 trillion, Solana at like 600 billion. So half. So if Solana was at 600 billion, it would put it at like $1,200. Now, would I be holding Solana then? Probably no. Now, I know there's narratives out there, you know, like the narrative of the super cycle. And the market, you know, is never going to stop going up. Until it happens, I'm not believing that. I'm believing that the cycle's going to end. We're going to go back to the bear market. And the price, like, okay, let me just give you a quick example. Okay, hold on. What Bitcoin does every damn cycle, okay? Let's go to path over here. Where are you? There we are. So, like, let's say, like, Bitcoin right now, and this is just me drawing up something random, okay? There's no, you know, like, this is just me thesis, okay? So, like, let's say Bitcoin right now, right? Even if it were to drop to that next moving average, right? Which would be at 40K, okay? We would assume that from here, this would be a bottom. If it reaches over here, right? That's just a possibility, okay? But we're talking about potentially rising up. Now, I know it's easy for me just to put an arrow and be like, oh, we're going to the moon. But this is just according to fibs, okay? So, according to the fibs that I drew, okay, from the last run, and, well, from the bottom of this bear market and the top of the last run, being conservative is 102 racks, okay? That's being conservative. So, if I get this path over here, this is just being conservative, okay? And it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. This is just being conservative, okay? We're moving to a moving average over here, bouncing off of it. If this were to happen, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but, you know, like bouncing off of here and then sending us to that conservative fib of 102. Now, if we want to go to the moon, okay, let's say we were to go to the moon, whatever, right? Somehow, you know how it goes. It works in steps, right? But so like let's just say bounce off the moving average, whatever. You know how it goes. Boom, 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 and then 102, right? Let's just say that it does move, whatever, to 155. Okay, 155K. Me personally, I would definitely be looking to get out of Bitcoin in the short term at 155K. I mean, at that point, you kind of have to take profit. At that point, you kind of have to take profit because it's just like, you know, you don't know what's going to happen, you know, and you know that you can always buy back lower, right? But for the most part, let's say after this bull run, regardless, even if you're holding for the long term, even if the new low is between 69 and 102, and it does something like this, we know, okay? We know, even if it goes down, in that next bull run after that, we could be easily looking at 250K, 200K, 225K. This is parabolic movement. This is what's about to happen. This is shit that I'm personally foreseeing, and that I've always said is that 155K is just an obvious mark to me. 102 is the most conservative minimum to me. I mean, Jason's saying pull what percentage of profit. Now, at the end of the day, some people would say pull 25%, pull 50%. Now, obviously, I wouldn't say to pull the whole thing at 155K, right? Because obviously, we got to keep skin in the game and see how much higher this can really go, right? But, you know, on the flip side, you know, that's up to you, and that's the goals you have to set for yourself. And that's where it starts now. It could be like, hey, I'm going to pull 25% at 102K, another 50% at 155K, and then the rest at 200K. Like, you know, that's some... and the reason why I say that you are the one that's going to have to decide that, because what everyone is comfortable with is different. People's risk appetite is different. I can take a crazy ass risk where somebody wouldn't, and somebody could take a risk that I wouldn't. So, you know, you have to gauge where your risk appetite is and how crazy you're willing to go, so that, you know, so that you're more, I guess, informed, more prepared for when the time comes, so you don't get smoked, right? Like a lot of us did last bull run. A lot of us got smoked. Smoked. So don't get smoked this run. Prepare so that you won't get smoked. You know, at the end of the day, all it comes down to is just preparing. That's all it comes down to. Preparing and executing, right? There's a lot of talks for a potential Solana ETF. Okay. Look. My issue with the Solana ETF is that, you know, Bitcoin we know is a commodity. Bitcoin we know is not a security, okay? Now they're saying that ETH is a commodity now. ETH, that's why it had its ETFs, right? But now you guys really got to think for a second. Is Solana really a security? or is it not a security? And if I had to assume, I would assume that it's a security because there's too much control from the team. Whereas a lot of these other coins, there is no control. So like that's what gets me, is that like Solana, there's a lot of control over it. So like, are the regulators really gonna be like, hey, let's do a Solana ETF? Because you know that with ETFs and all this, it really comes down to, you know, like it's customer security, protecting the investor. You know, SEC loves to talk about things like this. You know, protecting the investor and making sure that, you know, that everyone's gonna be okay, that an FTX is not gonna happen again, right? So that's why I feel like a Solana ETF is gonna be more of a stretch. Now, regardless, I've always thought like, okay, like, do we really need a Bitcoin ETF? Well, yeah, we do, because, you know, for more mainstream adoption. But like a lot of these coins too, like a Solana, like people can just buy this shit straight up. Does it really do we need a Chainlink ETF? Do we need a GRT ETF? Do we need a ADA ETF? I mean, an ETF? Do we need a Doge ETF? Like, these are questions that y'all really got to ask yourselves. I don't think we really need these ETFs. You know, and especially with something, you know, like a lot of these other coins. Like, I understand that Bitcoin, ETH is already going the extra mile, but now Solana, I mean, I already know how these people go. They're going to make it happen probably anyway. I'm over here talking shit, but they're probably going to make it happen, right? But on the flip side, it's like, you know, people can just go on Coinbase and they can just buy Solana if they really wanted. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? People can just buy Solana and just use it, send it to their Phantom wallet and use it. So I feel like the whole ETF narrative, oh, we need an ETF, it's like a big excuse. We don't need ETF. What we need is for interest rates to come down so that the Fed is printing more money so that we can inflate this shit the hell away so that everything can pump. And then now your money is now 10x and we're vibing. That's literally it. You know what I'm saying? But I know you're saying I'll take 35% off the top once Bitcoin crosses 100K. I agree, but also very easy said than done, my friend. Because when we're at 100K, and the market's violent, and every altcoin's violent, and every TV station's talking about it. That's the tough part, and that's where I think a lot of people have a really tough time, man. I feel like that's where a lot of people have a tough time, because it's just like, you know, like all the emotions, and you feel like, damn, like, you know, like I freaking, you know, like, you know how it is, man. It's even, there's a lot of emotions, me even talking about it right now, because that's how crazy this shit gets with this crypto stuff, man. But just to close it out right now, I just want to let everyone know, though, for real, like, think about the more important coins, okay? A Bitcoin, a ETH, even an ADA, a Dogecoin. Like, basically, what I'm trying to get at, the top 20, okay? Think about these coins, the top 20, okay? There's stuff you can work with here, but this is also stuff that you can build a portfolio with. You don't got to get greedy and go trade a meme coin right now. You have Cardano at 35 cents, okay? This shit 10x's, it's only $3.50. That's not even a double up from its all-time high before. These coins could 30, 40x. Yeah, it sounds crazy, right? But look at ETH, 304 billion. Look at Cardano, 12 billion. There's a lot of room to grow, and there's a lot of money that's going to come into this market. AVAX, yep, AVAX, this is all top 20, but I'm just saying these are where you should be focusing to build your portfolio. This is where it's at, because we're 2 or 3 months, folks, from the bull, like real bull market. Like, this is not time to be fucking around and trying to be like trading other shit. Focus on what's important, because I promise you, if you don't buy, right, in this little gap that we have right now, when this shit is really wildin', you're gonna regret it. Literally, unfortunately, because I've done that millions of times. So I'm just saying, take advantage of the time while you have, and anything is possible. Literally, it's just all it takes in an idea and some money. So look, folks, Shout out you all. Thank you all for popping up to my first episode. Crypto Abstract in the flesh himself. And for all those who want to support, I got my Inner Circle Discord. It's an exclusive Discord where I literally just post a bunch of content, exclusive content, opinions. I'm always in there spreading knowledge. And also follow my Instagram, the Crypto Abstract. Let's keep winning, folks. Literally, this market will blow your mind.